This isn't really the video to talk about the accuracies of it. We're just talking about the films within their own context as movies, not necessarily factual documentaries.
What is up, kings, queens, and gamers in between? It's me, orbite-beast, back again with another video. Okay, and Heretic Mad Lad is here too with me, so there's that. Yeah, and today we're gonna talk about the differences between the movies Lords of Chaos and what's that movie? The Dirt.
The Dirt.
Yeah. And yeah, this is probably the part where I should say I don't listen to either of these bands.
Lords of Chaos isn't a band.
Neither is The Dirt. But yeah, I should probably say now that I don't listen to either of these bands. So, yeah, but I think I'm a certified metalhead enough to talk about
Certified metalhead.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So let's go over the plots of the movies real quick.
Lords of Chaos follows the circle. Lords of
Black Circle.
Yeah, the Black
if you will.
Circle, if you
It has
will.
more of a plot, but yeah.
And the murders and church burnings done by Varg, and also the murder of Euronymous and dead suicide and all that jazz. And yeah.
Yeah, it was handled very poorly,
Very
I
badly.
think. At least dead suicide was. Yeah, but basically, you know, the movie starts out and we have these edgelords, and like it's basically edgelords who take things too far and become homicidal neo-Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of edgelords trying to like impress each other, and then they go homicidal.
Yeah, it's
Like, it wasn't necessarily like, I think Varg was the Nazi in the group.
Yeah.
So, Lords of Chaos follows the drama of the Black Circle in Oslo, Norway, I think it is. And yeah.
Yeah, that's that on that. It was made by Vice, and you know how Vice is? Yeah. And so I feel like the weird dialogue and stuff was like meant to bring out the cringe, to like make it seem as like cringy as possible.
Well, like,
or maybe they didn't do it and they're just bad at writing.
I think what they did was, first off, the book Lords of Chaos was a sensationalist train wreck, and then Vice tried to sensationalize a sensationalist train wreck.
That is true.
Like, because it was very graphic and stupid, and there were just a lot of cringy lines. Like, the part when Dead and Euronymous are looking in the mirror, and Dead's "We are the Lords of Chaos!"
Yeah, like, that's not a thing.
That was so cheesy.
Yeah.
Or
I
like,
also think, or what?
the part with his little sister, and he's like, "Mom, don't let her in here, I'm being dark."
Yeah. I feel like that may have happened, but, you know,
might have,
probably.
but it just
I feel like it would.
Seems really silly to put in there.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of the point to, like, you know,
Yeah, like,
make it seem,
emphasize the absurdity of it.
Yeah, because it was made by, like, outsiders looking in. The casting, okay, so, like, Macaulay Culkin's brother, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, plays Euronymous, and, like, it's just the whole time I'm looking at him, and all I can think of is, like, because he looks exactly like his brother, and so, like, I'm just thinking, like, Home Alone the entire time. It's Home Alone himself wearing a wig, like, you know? I just don't think the actors they chose really looked like them.
Yeah.
You know?
The guy who played Euronymous looked too willowy, and the guy who played Varg looked like too like
too,
Varg
like,
is
beefy,
Varg is a lot more like skinny than that, and like he just doesn't look like that, you know?
Yeah. And the whole subplot they shoehorned in with a love interest, like,
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It just felt like a way to make
What
the
are they
movie
thinking?
less of a sausage fest, like how The Dirt was.
Yeah.
Because The Dirt, I think it didn't have any female characters aside from Nikki Sixx's mom and Vince's wife.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because like I don't think they had the drummer's wife in there really prevalently.
No, she was in there, but like not a whole lot.
I think she talked like twice.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name or any of her scenes.
Exactly. So anyway, moving on to talk about the other movie, The Dirt, the one about Motley Crue. Like, okay, this one was like completely the opposite. It was totally romanticized, and because the band produced it themselves, it wasn't outsiders looking in.
They co-produced.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Thoughts?
I think that creates a big issue because it's funny. both the films have this weird voiceover in the beginning and, like, throughout the whole thing, but, like, mostly in the beginning, it's that very, like, cringy, like, yeah, you see that? That's me! I bet you're wondering how I got here. And it's just very silly and a strange choice for Lords of Chaos, because Euronymous he's 6 feet under. Like,
he's dead.
They could have...
Why?
Yeah, I think they could have chosen a better person to zero in on and make sort of, like, the main character, so to speak. Yeah. Somebody who's still alive, who they can talk to.
Who is still alive? Okay, because, like, if they made Varg the main character, that would be really weird.
Varg is still alive. He's a YouTube neo-Nazi. I think Hellhammer and Necrobutcher are still around.
Yeah. I don't know anything about them. The movie didn't really focus on them. But anyway, that was off topic. Back to the plot of fucking Motley. So,
Anyway, so The Dirt follows Motley Crue's, like, rise to fame as well as struggles throughout their musical journey. That sounds so silly.
Yeah, but except for the problem is it skips a lot of their musical journey.
Yeah.
You know, because it just kind of shows them, like, oh, they're down here. Now suddenly they're famous, and suddenly they're dressed like a BDSM disco ball.
Yeah, like, at one point they're playing in, like, a very crusty club.
Motherfucker!
And then you blink, and they're in front of, like, 12,000 people? 12, yeah. I don't know, just, like, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, playing an arena.
Yeah, so it was really abrupt, and it kind of felt... The whole thing felt really disjointed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean... I think the casting was good, because, like, the actors they chose do look like, you know, the actual people. And there were some good scenes in there, like, all the heroin scenes.
Yeah.
Were really well lit, like, with the blues and yellows,
and, like,
the high contrast.
I really
like
it. The part where he's, like, in his room ODing, I think, and he's, like, the shot stays still, but he's, like, cutting around, sort of, like, jump cutting around the room, and the lighting just looks really great, and I'm just, like, God bless.
Yeah. I'm looking at my notes right here, because I took notes during the movie, just, like, in case I forgot stuff, and, like, put, like, you can take a drinking game, like, take a drink every time something sexist happens in this movie.
You'll be wasted halfway through.
Yeah, the dialogue in The Dirt just seems really stilted. Like, it's just, it doesn't feel natural. Mm-hmm. It's just very, like...
It seems very edgy and scripted.
Not just that, it's just, it doesn't sound natural. Mm-hmm. Like, when the little kid's dying, and she's like, are you gonna let them cut me open again? Like, kids don't talk like that. That's just, it's just not realistic.
Yeah, like, it seems like a parody of what a movie scene like that would look like.
Yeah, it's just,
you know?
I don't think it was good.
It just doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah, and plus the fourth wall breaks
were very jarring. I did not like them.
I love how I just have, like, in all caps, gross, on the part where they're drinking the piss.
Oh yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, that was...
Well, they weren't drinking the piss.
Yeah, it was still gross. Yeah, I don't care.
Since we're talking about visuals, Lords of Chaos looked good. Like, at times the colors were really washed out, but I felt like it was appropriate. But this, like, the arson scenes, the stage scene, like, I want to say the party, but I don't really remember that scene super well.
I felt like I didn't even think about the colors in that movie, because, like, it just, they were really dull and washed out, and it just didn't stand out. Like,
oh, like, I think the scenes where the colors were strongest were, like, the stage scene, the forest scenes, things like that.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. It's just, nothing visually really jumped out at me,
like,
you know?
Their apartments and, like, the record store are very bleak looking, but...
Yeah, the whole movie's just kind of very bleak looking.
Bro, it's Norway.
I know. But I will give it that, like, I think they made the setting look accurate to the time period. Like, you could believe, okay, yeah, this is the 90s or whatever. Whereas in The Dirt, it's like, you could tell, like, this ain't the 80s.
The hair and makeup was very contemporary on the extras.
There was, like, maybe one extra who actually looked like they were from the 80s, you know?
Yeah, but I think they had, used music video as a reference for that.
Yeah, that's true.
But for a lot of the party scenes, the extras, they just look very 21st century.
I really wish the notes I took were more coherent, because They're not helping me right now. So yeah, cool. That was pointless.
Okay, which one did you like more and why?
Which did I like more? Okay, TBH. Even though The Dirt was not good, I liked it better just because. I mean, no, stupid.
It's a joke.
Like I said, the visuals and the style as a film stands out more. Yeah, I mean the plot was not coherent at all.
Well, okay.
But,
one was made by Netflix, the other one was made by Vice.
That's true, yeah. And I get that they have different budgets. But I feel like for Lords of Chaos, they just could have... They could have done more, I think. Like...
Well, like...
Just, it's the little things. Like, you know, lighting, camera shots, like... You know. Yeah.
Examining them as films and not really, like... Just viewing them as strictly films and not necessarily the truth aspect of them or, like, the real-lifeness. I would say Motley Crue, The Dirt, it's more like a fever dream. It's more colorful and, like, weird and crazy. While Lords of Chaos, framing-wise, it was more documentary-like because they did use actual locations and stuff, like, for the exteriors of the buildings and, like, outside of Euronymous' apartment. But, like, I feel like it was kept very gritty and real to keep that, like, feel of realness that, like, the book had, but then they just, like, took it over the top with the sensationalization and stuff.
That is true. I didn't think of that. Like, with the grittiness. Because I guess in that sense it does make it feel sort of like, you know, it's this underground kind of scene, you know?
Euronymous' basement.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can smell it.
Yeah, you can. Like, all these nerds in capes.
Yeah, like, you know.
It's like in documentary filmmaking, they talk about the silent voice of the film. Like, what it's getting at, but not necessarily saying out loud, and that's controlled by who's narrating, the camera work, just like the color, the way it's shot. And it's clear that, like, Lords of Chaos was meant to be unflattering, and it was meant to be looking into something that's hidden and taboo, while Motley Crue was more or less supposed to be like this really loud circus parading through the street and getting everyone's attention.
Yeah, it was more romanticized. It was trying to, like... It was trying to tell the story in the best way possible.
Most definitely.
Yeah, whereas, you know, Lords of Chaos was the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Wiggle.
Lords of Chaos is like the old sandwich at the bottom of your fridge.
Yeah, you can smell it.
Yeah, and The Dirt is like a buffet. Like, they have, like, the lighting and the music and, you know.
Yeah, but, you know, no real substance.
Yeah, like, the sandwich
it's just
has
very,
a charm.
A
charm.
I don't know how to explain it, because, like, it probably sounds like, you know, I like that I thought it was a good movie, which it wasn't. It was very... Just ego stroking. I did, but I mean, I'm all I'm saying is I liked it better than Lords of Chaos. Okay, so the camera just died. We forgot to charge it. We're idiots. So there's that. So we're using my laptop cam now. So that's why the audio quality suddenly just went to hell.
No, we're using my mic, so it should sound fine. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I don't know if it's
in.
working. I don't know. But which one did you like better then?
Lords of Chaos.
Okay, explain.
I liked Lords of Chaos because it had a more coherent storyline.
Yeah.
Its characters, it was definitely more character driven because it really zeroed in on their relationship and how it just was like this spiral of madness and just like everyone trying to outdo each other and things just getting out of control. And I just found that a lot more interesting, even though it did have like a really, like, Dead Suicide I think was a very poorly handled scene.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, that wasn't tasteful or necessary, and I really think they did it for shock value.
Yeah.
Like, even among, like, metal fans and stuff, like, that's not something you do. Like, it's not tasteful. A lot of people don't like that, even if they're into black metal.
Yeah, and what she means is, in the movie, they included the actual photo...
The album cover.
Of, Dead's dead body. And, like, bruh, Nobody wants to see that. Like, you know, it's just, why would you include that in the movie? Like, and plus the fact that they, you know, showed his suicide on camera.
Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable with that, or like how long the shots were with the body and stuff, and like I know I've seen the picture and it's not 100% accurate, but like
it's just, dude,
it's not tasteful or necessary.
Like, you know,
yeah.
Like, I imagine Dead's family watching this, just having to like rewatch their son's suicide.
Oh yeah, his family, like, they don't like people sharing around the picture.
Yeah, because obviously it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you if you're doing that? Like, you shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, first off, who the fuck takes a picture of their friend who just committed suicide?
Is an asshole for that anyway.
They're
so
all
like,
fucking assholes.
Yeah, they are. Like, it was just this big echo chamber of assholery. You know?
I've been meaning to watch like the documentary with like these interviews and stuff.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a documentary.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it before we filmed this.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Maybe we should
I did not know that. We should watch it.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting. Like, well, that's that on that, I guess. Yeah, tell us which movie you liked better in the comments and why. Yeah, so we'll see ya.